With Gambit dropping in the game as one of the most fun supports to ever come to Rivals, you'd think that would be a good thing overall, right? Wrong answer. No, apparently there's a bunch of people, including people in high elo, screaming and crying for Gambit nerfs. Most, if not all, haven't really presented a good argument as to why he should be nerfed, other than he counters X character who I want to play but can't play. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like you have a very limited pool of characters you play. If you truly wanted to get better and win games, don't be that dumbass that plays counters into bad matchups. Now, there are those exceptions that can win, but on paper, you're just playing Russian roulette by yourself at that point. I think people just don't want to accept that there are just some characters who will be good in this game. Prime example is Emma. She's arguably the best tank in the game, and her kit is all around very strong, meaning she is very good. But her kit isn't broken or unfair to the point where you just auto lose. Just because a character is strong doesn't mean that they're broken just because you don't like playing against them. Think about it. If every character was weak or strong or whatever you want, the game would be so boring, a literal snooze fest, and that wouldn't be what makes Marvel Rivals the fun game it is today. Now, I will say, with Gambit coming to the game, I see absolutely no reason why you should ever lock Mantis in this game. Just delete that character, bruh. Also, seems like the more I ask people to sub to my channel, they actually do. So please like the video and subscribe because I want to be big someday, you know? Also, I heard if you do that, you might get laid tonight. But anyway, people like to talk about how he has crazy healing. I think his standard burst healing is decent at best, assuming he has cards off cooldown. I've also seen people try to say his cards are way too strong, when in reality, those cards have to be used at the cinematic movie perfect time. Because once the card ability goes on cooldown, they're on cooldown for a decent amount of time, where you can be punished and or killed as Gambit, which I think is what makes his cards more balanced in my opinion. If you disagree, comment why down below with a valid argument. Also, people try to complain about him having more than one cleanse being his heart card and ult, but if you really think about it, that's a lot of commitment of ability to stop something regardless. Plus, I think Gambit having that changes the game in a good way where supports now have more carry and outplay potential to impact their chances of winning the game, other than filling the cup with water, healing, and complaining at the end of the game, because that's all they normally have to do in their role. Invis was the first attempt at like a more impactful support that isn't just a heal bot, then Ultron, who's just not a heal bot, which I think is really good for the game, by the way. Then Gambit with his very diverse game-changing kit. Game-changing meaning you have to think about what you throw out because he can put you in check with a cleanse or anti-heal. Mind you, most gamers hate thinking. How dare you have to think and use your brain? Honestly, I think Gambit is a very good character. I don't think a new game mechanic is making him broken like most cry about. Also, his ultimate is arguably one of the best support ults in the game, but it's not the end all be all. People can still die through that ult. You can kite. There's a lot of ways to deal with that ult in this team game called Rivals. I think Gambit is the best thing to happen to Rivals, and I'll die on that hill. Funny enough, I don't even main support. But yeah, y'all have a good day and stop hating.